Yesterday kicked off a weekend of double weapon XP for multiplayer users and double XP in zombies for anybody trying to grind out their rank in that game mode. But with that said, we also got a little bit of an update also to the game as a whole. Some things for some general fixes across the board and some things that were resolved as a result. And also, we got notice of a surprise coming next week in a tweet from Treyarch as of yesterday. So today we're gonna break down all that, everything you need to know, what the weekend event here right now is all about, what you can end up expecting for next week, and also the general fixes and things that will be of relative interest to you in relation to an update for Black Ops 4. So all that said, let's just jump right into it. The first thing we'll talk about here at this one deals with the double weapon XP and double zombies XP for those players involved. For zombies players, I'm sure that you are absolutely loving this right now because we saw double nebulium plasma, but that really doesn't do all that much for a lot of players. Double zombies XP in general for just progressing through the ranks is obviously a lot more valuable than that of double nebulium plasma. So awesome to see there's finally one of those within zombies for you guys. And also for double weapon XP, though it might not be my preferred double XP method and what we end up seeing, I think that I'd love to see some double XP for character progression and all that kind of stuff for your actual rank. Weapon XP is actually something I'll take advantage of because I may be unlike you in which I'm going for dark matter, but a lot of the weapons within Black Ops 4 are not that great without attachments. So ranking them up is definitely something that is very useful, and while it might not be my first preferred choice of double XP, I will gladly take advantage of that here, but I gotta wean myself off of Blackout, man. I've been playing so much of that going to multiplayer is still kind of weird to me at the moment, but regardless, take advantage of that if you are going for challenges. Once again, my best recommendation is to play some hardcore or just even core in general to rank up some of the guns you don't necessarily use. Like the ones that I'm probably gonna tackle this week are the pistols, maybe some of the LMGs, and probably the tacticals like the ABR and the swordfish. Those weapons that I don't normally use all that much, so I can get the attachments to make them better than their base weapon way faster than I would at a normal pace. So those I definitely recommend. And also, if you're going for it, chances are if you end up using pistols in hardcore and you end up trying to rank it up, you're gonna actually make some decent progress to some of those camo challenges. So take advantage of that while you have the opportunity this weekend. That'll go until Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Same with the zombies double XP as well. Now, as for the special event that was announced as of yesterday via the same Twitter post that actually announced that this double XP weekend was live, that's where we start to get into the very speculative nature and also what could be really interesting, because whenever you take a look at it first glance, that tweet, it could be up in the air for anything. A surprise later next week could be one of literally a million things. The biggest things that come to my mind, though, potentially are a brand new event. I kind of already forgot that the Halloween event came and went so fast, but we're still a little earlier than what I would anticipate for the next one to be. If we were to take a look and think about a winter event itself, still a little early on in the books here for that. I don't think that I would anticipate anything like that until around December, early December at that point, so we still have about 2 weeks before we end up going into that time frame. But I mean, it's possible that it could be an event, but what kind of makes this more interesting to me is the fact that later on in the blog post that went live in conjunction with this tweet, talking about the update and the changes that did actually occur, as well as the double XP event being live at the moment, in that blog post, which I'm sure didn't get as many views as the tweet itself, but they ended up saying, and check back later next week for a very special double XP event. We've also got another substantial game update planned next week, which will include gameplay improvements across all modes, the launch of Nuketown and Blackjack Shop on Xbox One and PC, new zombie stability fixes, and much more. So with that kind of whittles it down a little bit further, which I'm also curious to see what this could actually be if it's a double XP event. While it kind of negates the idea of a whole brand new event for a contraband stream item and also thematically across the board for either new cosmetics or something, I think that actually event will probably start as of Operation First Strike ending, which is right around December 3rd, I think. That'll be the last day for Operation First Strike, which would make the 4th the brand new event moving forward, which also could then in turn be a winter themed event. But a double XP event is kind of like, what is there left? Because unlike World War II, we don't have operators, we don't have divisions, all we have are actual rank and also weapons. And sure, we saw the double tier progression, but that doesn't encapsulate absolutely everything. So unless they end up doing a complete event where it's double everything, so double XP on your actual rank in multiplayer, double weapon XP, double tier progression for multiplayer and Blackout players, and then also double nebulium plasma and double zombies XP for everyone there, and it kind of touches all bases, that's something that I see as maybe the only massive option here for this, unless there's some curveball coming in, which is very possible, but I'm curious as to what it will actually lead to. So as for an actual event itself coming in, I don't know if I'd necessarily expect that unless they drop, say, a 2-week exclusive thing only for a little bit of a Thanksgiving celebration here in the States, but for a global game, I can't really see them doing that. I'd expect a winter event to be coming at the beginning of December, but maybe just a double everything event next weekend. I don't know if that happens, but regardless, as for what we end up actually seeing with the changes and update listed with this, we end up seeing that we had a couple of different things of substantial value, not really all that much that is super crucial, as we saw a massive title update earlier in the week, and we also saw an amendment to that as of, I believe, Thursday, but other than that, it's some smaller changes. To me, the biggest thing here out of this that was fixed, there's a few that really kind of are noteworthy, I think, but for multiplayer players, this is something that if you ended up taking a look at Create a Class, there was an issue as of recently with reactive and signature weapons. Now, that's something that I actually had a couple of tweets from you guys mentioning this, and I think that I had a slight case of this of my own, but it was something where players were not able to equip the reactive camos on their signature weapons. So if you went in, got all the headshot challenges or one-shot challenges done for whatever weapon you have a variant of, and you ended up going in and you do that extra challenge to get that camo, you couldn't actually equip it for some reason. That was a byproduct of either the Tuesday or Thursday update, but it was resolved rather quickly, which I'm definitely happy to see that it was fixed out in a very quick manner, but that should be something that's fixed up now. So if you were one of those players that experienced the issue with that camo and then the signature weapons, it should be fixed out now, so give it a try, play around with your favorite signature weapon. Outside of that, Zombies got a handful of stability fixes once again, and I'm only gonna mention these because I think it's absolutely crucial that Zombies is still getting some massive improvements here to the stability, because as you guys probably know or may have experienced firsthand, Zombies since launch has been a little bit of a mess. And I say that with the fullest intention of loving the game mode itself and wanting the absolute best for it, but there's no debating that it's been in shambles at time for the integrity of the build. But as for what it fixed the crash that could occur when a player disconnected at a specific timing after killing a zombie and starting a voiceover line. It also fixed the crash that would occur while using the shield to view hidden numbers during the main quest in Blood of the Dead, and also it fixed a rare crash related to the Zeus altar head following players on 9 and Voyage of Despair. So those things, of course, making sure that the continuity and the integrity of the game build itself is up to par and the game will not crash on players that come across these rare bugs, but it is something that should be fixed out. As for how stable it actually is and how close it is to fixing every crash issue, your guess is as good as mine, but it's at least a step in the right direction. And finally, the last thing that was changed out here that I think is noteworthy is that in Blackout, there was actually an issue with the sensor dart that honestly, whenever myself and Corey or Ink Slasher were playing, we thought this was just actually a byproduct of a nerf to it, like a hardcore nerf. But whenever you shot a sensor dart, it would only ping for 2 pings, and that was it. The first one obviously being a ping initially whenever it lands, and then one other one like that. So your sensor dart literally lasted about 5 seconds, which was rather crazy if you ask me. For competitive nature, sure, it definitely is nice that you can only get that initial ping and that's about it. But for the use that a large portion of the player base will probably use it as and not necessarily push in immediately and only grab that immediate information, it's definitely something this was rather out there for how an air quote nerf was adjusted to this. So this should be fixed out now. I played a lot of Blackout this morning, but I don't know if I necessarily picked up a sensor dart and used it to actually test how much of a difference it was, but that's something that they've resolved an issue with that sensor dart and the expiration time on that as well. Now here's the thing, if you have some issues that you were hoping were addressed and weren't necessarily in this little air quote patch from yesterday, I wouldn't fret just yet, because as mentioned, Treyarch said they have a big update coming next week, presumably on Tuesday, probably in conjunction with the addition of Blackjack Shop and Nuketown on Xbox One and PC. Your guess is as good as mine for what may be included here with this. I'm expecting some more fixes for things like challenges and paint job errors. I know there's one that was really persistent and has been since launch, that the RCXD kills actually aren't tracking towards its challenge, and as we start to get more so into the year, that stuff is preventing players from getting the 100%er challenge. You and me may not be anywhere near the 100%er challenge, but there are definitely people out there that grind out the game for specifically challenges for that 100%er, and with the RCXD not counting, that's a big hindrance as to them getting that goal and makes it an impossibility in some cases. But as for other things, I'm still holding out hope for those challenges to come. It'll be daily or maybe weekly challenges that will progress you so far into the tier system with a contraband stream. I know that right now that's probably something that it's beating a dead horse, but Treyarch mentioned it. We still haven't seen any implementation of it other than the tier skip system, in which that's literally just to get 1 merit in Blackout or 1 win in multiplayer. But other than that, it still seems like there could be some stuff done to help progress that. So maybe that comes, but again, your guess is as good as mine. But that said, take advantage of what we have on deck right now. This is a good weekend to grind out the game, and also what's coming up this week as well on the horizon looks pretty cool as well. So that said, that's where we're gonna wrap it up. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Is there anything in particular that you're hoping for to come next week? What do you think this big event is as well that Treyarch are starting to promote a little bit here within Black Ops 4? And is there any changes you wanna see out of the next game update coming next week as well? That said though, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a like down below. If you're already to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Black Ops 4 multiplayer, Blackout, zombies. We got you covered with the best of updates, news, information, tips, tricks, best class setups, you name it, we got you covered here on the channel. So any that interests you, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Black Ops 4. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected from outside of YouTube. Practically live on both those. Those links are in the description below for you guys to check out. But that said, thanks so much for watching. Might as well express out. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.